All right, joining us for a reaction to this Game 2 loss by the Oilers, it is our Edmonton Bureau Chief in the Edmonton Bureau, our friend Ryan Rishaug. I think the headline of the Edmonton Journal would be Special Teams Disaster. Kings, 5 goals in the first 2 games on the power play. Oilers 0 for 5. Has that, in your opinion, been the big difference so far in the series, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. No question about it. Talk about flipping the script. I mean, the Oilers' penalty kill was perfect in the series against the Los Angeles Kings a year ago, and now they can't kill one off to save their lives, Jay. Like, it's unbelievable how dominant this LA Kings power play has been. They've got this 5-forward formation, and they're absolutely picking the Oilers apart. They're scoring goals in different ways. You know, this is back to last game. They've gone cross ice to get Skinner moving. They've had players hidden down below the goal line. We come to tonight, same thing. Darnell Nurse with the slide and a tap in front. Another situation where a guy gets in behind the D, deflection off the end boards, and it ends up in. Meanwhile, the Oiler power play, their bread and butter, they have not been playing together very much over the last month or so because both McDavid and Draisaitl have taken turns in and out of the lineup, and they really have yet to get going here. The Oilers' power play is stuck. The Kings' power play is dominant. And Jay, I will remind you that 2 of their most used penalty killers last year in the playoffs, Vinny Desharnais, that giant defenseman, was excellent for them on the penalty kill, and Mattias Ekholm, neither of those guys are available.
And it seemed like the Oilers had some momentum, Ryan, when they cut that lead to 3-2, and then just a devastating giveaway by Victor Arvidsson, not to mention some really rough penalties throughout, really killed any momentum the Oilers had in this one.
Well, the Oilers are one of those teams where they make you pay if you get silly and stupid with penalties. Normally, right? They dare you to take dumb penalties against them. Well, once again, Leon Draisaitl, McDavid and company scrap and claw their way back into this game. Arvidsson ended up with a goal to help as well. Then Adam Henrique does this. Now, that might seem like a soft call, but I'm here to tell you, they were battling hard in the offensive zone 10 seconds before. Everybody was watching Henrique. It was a terrible penalty. And then this from Victor Arvidsson, back-to-back turnovers, one at the blue line, one at the dot, and it ends up in the back of the net. So undisciplined play, terrible penalties, turnovers. The Oilers absolutely getting in their own way from completing another comeback in this one, Jay. Getting dominated on special teams and shooting themselves in both their feet. They got to sort both of those things out, or this thing is not going to last long.
And then they've got to figure out who's going to start Game 3. Stuart Skinner pulled in the third. Calvin Pickard allows a goal in the first shot he faces. Who do you think goes between the pipes when the Oilers return home Friday, Ryan?
Yeah, I think we'll see a change. My gut right now is that they'll go with Calvin Pickard. Stuart Skinner, you don't necessarily lay the first game loss on him. A couple there that you might have liked. Some saves out of him, but Kemper was the same thing at the other end. Tonight, the Oilers left him hanging out to dry. Look at these looks. Clean looks from players in alone on Skinner. The issue is he's not coming up with the big saves that sometimes you need to come up with in the playoffs, right? He's not finding the big saves, and he's finding himself in mano-a-mano situations, and he's getting beat clean by shooters. So that's not great. It was time for him to come out, but pretty sobering, Jay, I think, is the fact that Calvin Pickard goes in, and what's the first thing that happens? Massive breakdown from the Oilers, mano-a-mano situation, and he gets beat clean too. Goaltending is not the biggest issue in this series for the Oilers. They're being outclassed in a couple of really important ways. It's not going to matter who's in net if they don't sort that out, Jay.
Well, the good news is they'll be sleeping in their own beds soon, and they'll be back at it in front of their own home fans on Friday night for Game 3. Ryan Rishaug, thanks for this.